Hey guys, it's been a while since I made a video, and in fact I was going to make a video earlier today just talking about the past 2 weeks because it has been darn slow in the markets, and I was going to show you just what my P&L looked like on one of these slow weeks. And right before I started recording the video, BBIG just went absolutely parabolic, and I was able to trade it for 413 bucks today. So I just imported my trades, and I want to talk about some things about this parabolic move, some things you could take away, some things you can learn. Before I do, I'll just blip over to Trader View here, and this is what my week looked like. So last week I had a couple red days, but it was all okay because I had the $700 green day on Monday, and then today this week was going to be pretty slow. I think I was only up like 50 bucks right before I was going to record this video, and they BBIG saved my week. So this week we're looking at we actually did better than last week, 742 bucks. So let's go back. You can see that I was up 413 on BBIG here. Let's do some learning on BBIG. What can we learn from a parabolic mover like this? Well, the first thing is it had a pretty nice morning session and gave 100% of it back, and then took 100% of it back, and then we just started going into this wedge formation. So when a stock goes into a wedge formation, it has three options. You can have extension to the upside, where it will have usually a blow off top and it'll go pretty parabolic, which is what we saw on this, or it can stay in the range, or it can break to the bottom of the range. Usually when it breaks to the bottom of the range, like for example, if this were to break to the bottom, we probably would have seen this blow past the 380 pivot and probably come down to the lower pivot, probably around 370 or so. Now, when the stock goes parabolic, as the stock comes back into the range, okay, or into the wedge, usually what will happen is it will go to the other side of the wedge, which is what it did, and it found support at the other side. And now we're consolidating, and looks like we're actually selling off at this point, but that is normally, this is a short right here. You can short this down to the other side of the wedge. And one last thing I want to show you is how to pick out a top. And actually in the Discord, if I bring this onto the screen and I scroll way up, I called out at 1158. 1158, look out, there's the top, just melted, a massive bid. So let me show you how I called that out, and let's go to 15-second candles just so you can see when exactly I called this out. So we had just been going parabolic, parabolic, parabolic. 1158 comes, we had melted a massive bid right there, and I can pull that up on Bookmap. So here's the top on Bookmap, and there was the bid that came in. Now it doesn't look that big right here. It's 94,000. It was actually bigger. It was about 120,000 shares that were sitting there, and we didn't even get a bounce there. We just melted right through it. And whenever that happens after going parabolic, whenever you see a big order come in on the bid and we just go right through it, usually that's going to be a top. Actually, almost 100% of the time, that is going to be a top. Now, flipping back over the Discord, I've recently just made available the scanners that I use every day to help me trade, to help me find things to trade. And I'm going to go through those with you right here. They are the Enhanced Halt Scanner, which called out today ACY. And if I come back over to TradeStation, you can see that I did trade ACY, small share size, but made 24 bucks on it. And these are just going to call out halts that are likely to open higher. The Enhanced Momentum Scanner, which is going to give you relative strength scores. So I like to look at the scanner, and I don't always look at the charts. I just look at this relative strength score, and if it has a relative strength of greater than about 80, then I'll take a look at it. So you can see that BBIG had a good relative strength this morning, or actually that was yesterday. Today it actually had 149 when GFAI was called out, 459. So these are stocks that I like to pay attention to. BBIG was called out actually the first time with a 90. Demand zones are going to be spots to watch for support. This is where buyers have stepped up in the past, and the bot is actually analyzing the volume profile and looking for spots that buyers should step in again. So if we take a look at STC, it called out today 223 to 229. And here's SDC. So this was the demand zone that it called out. And no matter where you bought in the zone, you got some kind of bounce. And then it made a larger bounce up to 240 before failing. But a decent zone to buy nonetheless. And I'll just let you see these different demand zones. These are all the ones that were called out yesterday. You can go look at these. All of these had a bounce at the demand zone. Lastly is the whale alerts. And this is just looking for big orders on the bid at the open. And it's looking for price to move away from those orders very quickly. And if it sees that, it'll call it out here. There's not too many alerts in the whale alerts. But anyway, if you guys want a free trial of this, the 7-day free trial, you can come into the Discord, go to this free trial section, and just type /trial. And you will have access to all of these scanners for 7 days. After that, if you like them and you want to use them again, then you can pay for it. It's $20 a month, which I think is a very fair price given all the ideas that it puts out. All right, folks, that's it for today. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you live on Monday.